Hi. Today we want to check out the Swedish amp brand Racing, one of my favorites. I'm here with the man behind the magic,
Behind the mask.
Mr. Jesper Karlsson.
Yep. Thanks, Sean. The actual brand Racing was conceived by a friend of mine as sort of a joke, really, from the outset. One thing led to another, and it became an entity of its own, which is why we see the amplifiers of Forest. This one is an old Danish-made Max 40, and I'll walk you through the innards of it. And this in turn is an old, even older, Celestion G12M made back in 1937. As sort of a novelty, the tubes in here were last controlled for integrity in 1951. Tell that to the plexi crowd.
Yeah.
In short, I tried to bring a little humor into it, in as much that amplifiers don't all have to be blank rectangular boxes that says either Fender or Marshall. To me, this is way cooler.
Yeah,
to be honest.
indeed.
And they do sound of rock and roll. That much is for sure.
I know.
But I'll walk you through the innards of that Danish Max amp just shortly. So please stand by.
Let's go.
This is a tube amp, in essence, and without the intention of trying to make tube amp techies out of guitarists, I'd say that a basic understanding of what a tube amplifier is and does might bring you forward. This is the shielded entry tube, and this is another shielded small signal tube. This is the famed face inverter, and over here we got a dark horse, for lack of better words. This is the power tubes, in this case EL36s. Over here we see the main smoothing caps, in turn the power transformer and the output transformer. That said, let's take a look inside, shall we? need to be a little careful not to damage the power tubes. This is the innards, and plainly put, this is down here is the first socket where the signal enters. We take care of the signal by altering our topology, our component topology for each tube. So in brief words, from where my pointing stick is at to out here, that is the basic preamp. Underneath this little PCB resides the components for the phase inverter, and out here in turn the controls for setting the tube amp's bias. This small PCB here is the main loop, the effects loop. And this little amp has got a few features that you wouldn't normally run into. One of which being that it sports dual PPIMV controls, post phase inverter master volumes, and this is the way that I put the amp together to reach upon the distortion levels and tone that I strive for. And using two of them, which are controlled by what's known as an LDR, I can basically have one volume level for rhythm work, and in turn one volume for solo work. Over here we see a couple of added capacitors, and these capacitors are part of the PPIMV control. Via this little micro switch here, what I can do is that I can alter to run these LDRs, there's a few of them on board, to either be controlled by the micro switches or the foot switch, which is just behind me. The entire thing is powered by this little contraption here, which is basically a couple of electrolytes, a rectifier, and a drop resistor. The amp came to back in 1965, in April 1965 to be more specific, and this as sort of a trial to be a Vox amplifier. At the time, the amplifier is made in Denmark. At the time, importing electronics or whatever was extremely expensive. So what the Danes did was that they put this concept, this idea of an amplifier together that was really to resemble a Vox amp. And to be honest, they failed and went out miserably, to be honest, at least in my opinion. So in short, what you see here is my brainchild, all of it.